Well, hello there, welcome back. It is I, Wizalix, and here we are to play the Grace Ace Attorney, Chronicles. Last time we finished the first episode of this game, and now we'll soon start the next one. Okay, so there's actually 5 of them. Baskerville will be in Great Britain. Anyway, let's not think too much about those other episodes and focus on this one in particular. Shall we start? I think we should. Let's go. The Adventure of the Unspeakable Speckled Band and The Adventure of the Great Departure. Let's go. Ooh. Looks like a boat.
狭い部屋の片隅、深い闇の中でホームズと私は息を潜めて待っていた。やがて通気口からシューシューと低くうなるような音が聞こえてきた。
Listen to the man.
その瞬間、突然ホームズが飛び出して闇の一点をステッキで鋭く打ち据えた。見たかワトソン。ホームズの張り詰めた声が空気を震わす。私がランプの遮光板を上げると部屋の情景がぼんやり浮かび上がった。ホームズは部屋の隅を睨みつけて私に向かってつぶやくように言った。被害者が死の間際に言い残したまだらの紐という謎の言葉。その恐ろしい正体こそがこいつだったのだよ、ワトソン。そこには巨大な毒蛇が牙をむき威嚇するようにとぐろを巻いていた。それは世にも恐ろしいまだらの紐だった。
Sholmes and Wilson, what the hell? Oh, sorry about this. On board of the boat or something?
それでは謎解きを始めるとしようか。この奇怪なる殺人事件、その真相をね。失礼。
A murder already.
犯行時、扉は内側から缶抜きがかかっていた。缶抜きに細工された痕跡はない。犯行の際、この現場は完全な密室状態だったわけだ。被害者は死の間際にメッセージを残したようだ。ここに落ちているインクを使って書いたと考えられる。
Interesting.
ロシア語。どうやら被害者はロシア人ということか。文字に全く乱れは感じられない。被害者は相当意志が強かったのだろう。見たことのない妙な文字だな。筆跡はこのメッセージとは明らかに違う。いや、これはむしろ人種が違うと断言してもいいかもしれない。札を貼ったのは犯行時間の直前、被害者自身だったようだな。ほう、これは
一体貴様は何なんだ。好き勝手しやがって。
そうです。海洋警察が到着するまで現場に手を触れず待つべきだ。
その必要はない。どうやら今から5秒以内に諸君を犯人に紹介できそうだ。
Don't tell me it's Yurinosuke.
殺人現場だぞ。
Please,
しかも
don't
奇
be.
怪な密室殺人だ。
それでは密室の謎、その封印を解くとしましょうか。
まさかその中に犯人が。
一体君は何者なのだ。僕は大英帝国が誇る世界の名探偵なのです。
Sholmes.
シャーロック・ホームズ。もしかして
Sherlock Sholmes. It's like... which book is it again? It's a book that used this name, actually. My head is throbbing. What's going on? Something not right here. There's trouble in the air. Wait. I can't move. Oh my god, it's you. Of course, it is. What? Why am I in handcuffs? So you wake up now. We had to drag you out of the wardrobe. I don't believe how you could not wake up. You're a true cold-blooded man. You. Oh, you found me, then. We found you. And now you pay, criminal. How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe, Sorry. Now you have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is, I'll tell you everything. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Isn't that... Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Mr. Sato. Wait, what did you just say? Who? First? Why am I here? Take his life. Where is he? Where's Kazuma? No. No. Pretend you do not know. You are a wolf in a sheep's pelt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses. Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not long ago. Oh no! Here, in the very cabin, there was bolted shut from the inside. His body. Please, don't try to tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Kazuma's dead? But don't be. In these handcuffs. Really, you don't think I have to know. Why do you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please. That's a nightmare. I want it? No! I'm not very good at that. Kazuma, it was just 2 short weeks ago. Are you sure about this? Won't we get in trouble? Don't you find it fun being in stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study? Was there something else when they brought you luggage in here earlier, though? The way that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case onto the floor. I was going to die. Yes, I still can't quite believe that. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. You must be even less of a man than you look. Honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body. That's why we'll go to England. Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Great Britain. But if you confine yourself to my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you. I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians won't be very forgiving of a stowaway. They're a steady bunch, that's for sure. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? From faithful judicial assistants, Mikotobe, you mean? From your close friend? More to the point, surely we could confide in her? I don't believe she'd give me away. No, but if she knew what we'd done, it will make her guilty by association. It's best that only you and I know about this. I suppose so. Anyway, it's about the time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. And it's cramped, but you'd better get in there, I think. It won't be for long. And anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'd still be a breeze. That was 2 weeks ago. Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it. So boring. I'll tell you what. Why don't you write "keep out" or something on this piece of paper? Then I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're inside. I don't know. We've only been at the sea for about 15 days, 2 weeks. How can this have happened? We're supposed to be going on this adventure to England together. Oh, it will have been so bright. It's already too late. We leave you at the next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. Murderer. Not murderer. No, you said before, you said you admit everything about your crimes. No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on this ship, but murdering my best friend. No one else could have done it. Admit the truth. Once again, there's no motive here. Just tell us, son. You don't believe me, right? Please tell me what happened. I need to know. Very well. But there is something I would like to ask of you too. It looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare is getting worse by the minutes. I suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened. Well, it's the same thing. He really has been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream. These handcuffs. I think I did it. I think I'm Kazuma's killer, right? When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside. What do you mean? There's no access to the cabin with a porthole window, and the bolt and door can be operated from outside. In other words, the culprit couldn't have escaped from these 4 walls. Well, I can see one thing already. The vents, right there. At the top. Or to put it another way, the culprit can only have been somebody inside the cabin. Or do you have some other explanation? This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly? I'm still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances. Please, you have to tell me. The cause of death is still undetermined. We don't know how he died. The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course he had no postmortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted on the next port of call. Presumably that means there were no obvious external signs of injury then. That's true, yes. Poison. Don't anyone tell me what exactly happened here in this cabin. I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma? Presumably there's something you know the answer to better than anyone. Please, whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all. Well, yes, I was, but... He will always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside this cabin, as I have every day so far on this voyage. This morning he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't. Does that mean he was already dead when Sato-san arrived at his cabin door, I wonder? I knocked, but there was no reply. Then I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. The crewman forced the cabin door open, when we managed to get inside. Was Kazuma-san collapsed on the floor. The white tape there is no shows exactly where he was found, I suppose. I have no idea anything had happened. He must have been slept in the wardrobe somehow. I wish it wasn't the case, but it's just very hard to believe. It's all very hard to believe for me too, trust me. I've told you everything that I know. It's my turn to ask you a question. Yes, alright. My head feels so heavy, throbbing like anything. Stow away. Were you even on board this ship, Naruto-san? You said something about being stowaway, didn't you? Oh, yes. I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time. I had no idea. How could you have occupied Kazuma's cabin for so long without him noticing? Would have been possible, obviously. They're in the cahoots. Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together. He actually asked you. But why? I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself. I don't understand. Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why you go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you? It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of the terrible trial. Incredible? Terrible? Incredible. Well, both, but yeah. I think I told you then, didn't I, that you ought to become a lawyer yourself. Well, yes, you did say that, but I don't think you were serious. You have a talent for it, I can assure you of that. I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, it's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? Well, no, definitely not. But on a personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then what? Nothing. Forget it. Kazuma-san was always saying the same thing. He wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Legal? Well, perhaps he thought that he could do that with you. Yes, maybe. Something's still bothering me a little. Look in his eyes then. Was darker than I've ever seen it before. Sato-san, I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you. By stowing away on the ship, I mean. If I know Kazuma-san, I expect he was trying to protect me, to avoid me becoming guilty by association. Well, that's exactly right, yes? Well, perfect in fact. If you're not the culprit, then tell me, what happened last night here, in this cabin? Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat just like he always did. And then I got myself into the wardrobe over there, just like I always did. After that I fell asleep. Well, yeah. So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed. Well, yeah. And it sounds unbelievable. Really, I do. But it's the truth. If I had woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. And for some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything. Really? Maybe there's something in the food. That's why. There was something in the food. Something wrong. No, it's... Please forget it. You have to believe me, I didn't do it. But why? Some assumptions. But why Rena's case was drugged at the moment by Kazuma? Presumably? Or maybe both? No, because he could write something so Kazuma knew there was something odd with the food, or he didn't eat the same food. If it is, right. This was. I really don't want to doubt you. The trouble is, there's no one else who could possibly have done this. Sleeping pill. Really? Kazuma, I don't understand. Why? Why did this have to happen? I can't take this. I'm trying to go anywhere. The perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen. I'm sorry. Kazuma was killed right under my nose here. I didn't do anything to stop it. Now I'm supposed to just sit around. My hands tied. While whoever did this walk free. I can't allow that to happen. Well, what do you propose to do, then? I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life. And how and why they did it. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. Obviously. Aikido? Looks like Aikido. It's a Sato takedown. What martial art form is that? I'm going to need you to prove it. Prove it. Yes, you're innocent. I need evidence. How am I supposed to? We've forgotten already what you achieved just a few weeks ago. You successfully defended yourself in the court of law. I'll look at Aikido's techniques. I see. He's expecting me to present some conclusive evidence. Yeah, it looks like Aikido. I have to get to Sato-san to believe me. We don't have anything to record, I guess? Hey, that's actual evidence. I mean, how can you get inside the wardrobe without removing it? To begin with, this is also a problem. This is the evidence. I'll show her some evidence right now that proves. Oh, well, here. I thought it. Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the doors? Oh, yes, it was. I remember clearly. I thought so, because I always put it in place whenever I went to sleep in there. Just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. Naturally, he did the same last night as well. Yes, of course. The gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign from the wardrobe doors before you opened them. But if I were truly the culprits, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own. Yes, that's quite true. In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma. Or maybe with a string. I don't know. Well, even if you are sprawled hopelessly on the floor, I can see why Kazuma-san spoke so highly of you. Thank you, Sato. Now, I do think perhaps you could help me up. Chicken leg here. Statue. I can't read kanjis. I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating in here, at least. Thank you. Do you finally believe me? I'm sorry. No. Not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you use some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position. What does she think I am? A magician? String. For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. I'll do the same. Alright, let's get to work to Sato-san. Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts. I shall be watching you to make sure you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I don't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example. Right? Well, anyway, I should make a start on investigating in here. Examine everything I can. Kazuma, I swear, I will avenge your death. Okay, let's see. Time to investigate. These are the rules of passage for travel abroad. This SS Berea. It's essentially a list of requests from the captain to all passengers on board. Not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Am I a pet? Why are you staring at me like that? Sorry, was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet? Pet. I can't decide. Well, one thing for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. Oh dear, it won't do. What's the matter, Sato-san? Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused I forget to look around properly. It's not good. I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard, are you, Naruto-san? I'm sure you're careful to look around using... Oh, here. Aren't you? Let's investigate all corners of this cabin. Yes, let's do that. I suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now. Okay, let's see. Bookshelf. Books have fallen over the shelf, look. They've all toppled the same way. And what's this? A statue of some god of the sea, although he's fallen over as well. It's almost as if the whole shelf has been ransacked, and everything moved down at once. I wonder if perhaps it was Kazuma-sama doing his morning sword training, do you think? I seriously doubt it. Then perhaps it was you, in a fit of rage. Why? Wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue. The way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder. I just set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess. Okay, that's a very large traveling case, isn't it? Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me. Memories? What do you mean? Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. Was brought on board inside that case. I see it says this way up in Japanese, which in hindsight I should have realized the foreign crewmen wouldn't be able to read. Was done over and over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor in here. Oh, and dear, being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds. Well, it was less painful than a Susato takedown. This is where the Kazuma-sama would have sat whenever he was writing. London Diary. Poor Kazuma. He didn't even make it to his destination. Looks as though the last entry is incomplete. Entry. Which means what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened. Let's see what it says. It will be a valuable clue. That's out of the question. You have departed this world, but you must not read his private file. It's something important, something relevant to the case. Alright, I won't read it. Oh, Kazuma-sama. I don't like prying into people's personal matters either. But in this case, isn't the need for clues more important? Okay. It's 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruto-san? I think living isn't quite the right description. Oh no, I suppose not. Although it must have been rather exciting, making this voyage in your own secret hideout. The role was, I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. And last night was no exception. But because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin. No, sadly not. This is, yes, it's a bell called contraption, I think. What do you mean contraption? I read about it in a book I was studying that talked about the life in Great Britain. Large households often have bells cords like this, which you can pull to ring a bell to summon servants. It sounds almost magical. Shall we give it a little try? Yes, in the interest of the cultural research, obviously. I suppose nobody comes for lowly Japanese people. No, I'm sure it's just that everyone's busy, that's all. It's really your problem? I think that's some kind of opening for a ventilator, a hole through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin. Isn't that a little odd? What do you mean? Well, this ventilator, that's what it is. Looks like it must connect to the next door cabin. Will appear to. You're right. If its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, then it will be connected to the outside. That's true. It's so that rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough, or something like that. I suppose maybe that's it. It gets me right that before he died. Looks like it's written in ink. Must have knocked the ink pot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. Let me try something. Maybe like that. Papa Pop. No. Poor Kazuma-sama. There he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine it. I suppose he was trying to leave some kind of clue in his final moments, was he? I'm sorry, partner, but I can't read your writing. I don't think that's Japanese, Naruto-san. Then what language is it? Russian, maybe? Maybe it's to admit it, but I don't know. It's not foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder? Who's that? Wasn't there a minute ago? As far as I can tell, it looks like he might be European. How did he? You noticed the man too, have you? No idea who he is or how he got in here. He looks suspicious and tall. Suspiciously tall. Don't tell me. Do you not know who that is? Well, no. I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. He doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. Is he investigating Kazuma's desk or is he just playing on it? I can't tell. In that case, you simply must talk with him. Am I imagining it? Or the Sato-san looks almost uncontrollably excited. By the way, I expect that you've noticed already, just in case. Press space on people when they're in the crosshairs, you can converse with them. Yeah. Oh, please do. still have a lot of things to look for. To look. What do you think this is? Looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever the thing was, it appears to have broken clean in two. Glass is such a beautiful color. It looks like a cute little Netsuke fastener from a kimono outfit. I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. Wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like this around with him, will he? The mark beside it. What is it? I wonder. It has a sort of brick-like hue. Yes, you're right. It is the color of brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in the cabin. Okay, there's a lot of obvious things. That's my dinner from last night, roast chicken. It was really tasty. It was really delicious, wasn't it? But did you eat it on the floor here? Not the dog. I ate at the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor. Kazuma-san didn't like chicken at all, did he? No, that's right. So he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me. So, does that mean that his last night at his earth with an empty belly? Just horrible. Really? That's your problem? There's nothing on this table at all. Plate and cutlery are all over the floor for some reason. This is strange. Last time when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still... No, wait a minute. That's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all. So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Kazuma-san. Tama. Not the same thing. Segi, the Japanese word for justice. The brush strokes are straight and true, just like Kazuma. His calligraphy always was a reflection of his heart. Yet you, can you really look at those characters without feeling shame, knowing who drew them so thoughtfully? Of course I can. I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to? Even though you stowed away on this ship. Oh, right. You're going to bring that up, are you? I can't win. As Kazuma-sama's precious sword never went anywhere without it. He was always saying that the Japanese man's katana is his soul. Although he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip. I suppose that shows just how important it was to him. Now he's gone. I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet. When I went for help and the crewman forced the door open, this bolt has been firmly closed. Quite a small bolt, not particularly sturdy, just slides across the secret door, shut. But still with the door bolted, there will be no way to get in or out the cabin, that's for sure. No wonder everyone suspects me. When she glares at me like that, I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel that would use a needle and thread to draw bolts across from outside the room. A situation like this. Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. The door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal and they seal together perfectly. There won't be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid. She glares at me like that. I feel pins and needles all up and down my spine. Hello? Excuse me? What? Was wondering how it's going. Investigation, I mean. Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes. But is not true, I see. Sorry. The criminal asking your investigator for information about his crime. Very funny. Oh, it wasn't supposed to be a joke. He doesn't appear to be laughing either. He's convinced you're guilty. He might have useful information though. I have to keep trying. So last night, did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all? Yet. Of course not. Now back to corner of room and make silence. I say no more to you. Did I hit the nerve? Just for a minute there, he seemed a little flustered. And finally the detective. Excuse me? Excuse me, do you have a moment? This is a critical point in my investigation. Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly. Yes, perhaps that will be for the best. Greetings, I hope I haven't kept you long. What exactly were you doing on Kazuma's desk just now? I see. Fascinating. Sorry. What do you see? Feels like he's looking right through me. Yes, everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You? I've been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just a suddenly return, if I'm not mistaken. Huh? And now, whilst adventuring toward foreign climes, you find yourself in the most troubling predicaments. Well, that's true at least. How? How the deuce did I know? Perhaps. It was really a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining. We perhaps managed to deduce anything else. But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example, the fled your native land of Russia, being as you are a merciless revolutionary. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake, and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. I think you're reading too much novels. And when the very bound occupant of this very cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life. Who? Yes, I believe that summarizes the fact that beautifully. Ready to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives the eyes. Just to be clear, you're talking about me, are you? Certainly I am. Oh yeah. You see another in this cabin who fits the bill, a Russian assassin, well, with 16 victims to his name. I don't even see one person who fits the bill. You fall? It's true. Was you who did this to Kazuma-sama? Huh? And are you plotting a revolution too? It's a shameful behavior, Naruto-san. Absolutely wicked. Explain yourself, tell me everything. This is ridiculous. How could you do it? For pity's sake, open your eyes. I'm not Russian revolutionary, obviously. Oh, forgive me. And as for you, what kind of deduction was that? We're just saying the first thing that came into your head. Yay! But was I not right? Whilst venturing toward foreign climes, you do find yourself in the most troubling predicament, do you not? Well, yes, maybe. There you have it, see? What do you make of that? Well, to be honest, the ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of a murder. So I'm not really sure you could call it deduction, more plain observation. Indeed, an observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. The method is founded upon the observation of trifles, you see. I announce my findings with blessed certitude, and more often than not, I'm right. Ah, I don't think you introduced yourself. My apologies, how remiss of me. I'm none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women the world over. The inimitable Sherlock Holmes. It's really you, the actual Sherlock Holmes. If it is you, then it will be pretty sad. The inimitable actual Sherlock Holmes. Do you know this man, Sato-san? Most famous detective in the world? Of course I do, there's nobody who hasn't heard of him. How glad have I been living on then? You must ask him what he's deduced. We'll have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure. Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this? You're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? Sherlock Holmes. One and only Sherlock Holmes. I see. You're German? Lock, what's it? No, I have no hair. I have hair. Lock. Huh? Please call me Holmes. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication. Oh yes, Rand's magazine, full of wonderful short stories, interesting articles from Great Britain. Never miss an issue. Have it sent from England especially. Here it is, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Are you the protagonist in a series of short stories here then? Indeed I am. And you've read so many of your own stories you've started to think you really are a detective. Not the poor deluded fellow you take me for. Inference is back one. My trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine. You have a biographer, do you? Doesn't everyone mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London. Dr. Wilson. Like John H. Wilson? I must say thanks to the publication have been fantastically busty. Busty? No. Busy of late. Why? What is the very moment I'm returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of the cursed royal crown? Really? I can't walk out whether I should take this man seriously or not. Deduction, you see, is to me a science, logical reasoning in its purest form. Science? Really? Oh my god, who are those people? The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions in his subject. A furtive glance, a twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of the posture. Fingernails, arm sleeves, burrows in the skin. All these things are data. Right. Your trained logician makes deduction from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is without failed truth, as I demonstrated only a few short moments ago. How can you look me in the eye and claim that? You see, I have returned both observation and for deduction and fame. That is what makes me the only and the one and only, no, Sherlock Holmes. Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? Have managed to deduce anything, my dear fellow? Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in this most cunning hiding place? That's right. It was none other than the greatest detective before you now, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. I see. I'm in this now because of him. When I became anxious about Kazuma-sama this morning, I summoned all of the crew members to force the cabin door open, and I concealed myself among the number granting entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective, Sherlock Holmes, was on board, and the handcuffs seemed to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruto. Every moment I laid eyes on the scene, two facts were immediately apparent to me. Really, two facts, you say? Mr. Sholmes, tell us please, what two facts were apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning? Ah yes, but first let us be precise. The facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yeah, I understand. What were they? Tell me. Allow me to elucidate. There's so much. The fact that I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number 1, the cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprits out of the question. Number 2, the victim was Russian and killed following a dispute with an acquaintance. What made you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. Oh, it is a Russian word for wardrobe. Oh, do you really think Izuma Sam will have left a dying message in Russian? The final moment made me find the native tongue filling in the head, but this young man Russian. Izuma was Russian, was he? Initially considered a garderobe, maybe the name of the killer. It's not Robert Guard, perhaps. In the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be not wrong not to look inside the wardrobe there at least. We found Mr. Naruto sleeping soundly. Quite so, I found you the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. Which is it that I'm Russian too? I saw that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. And if my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people. Who are those people, God? The school uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people. I had no idea. I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong. I took a photograph of the victim and the message that might analyze it for possible hidden details. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. This Kizuma has already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this. Are you alright, Mr. Naruto? Oh, yes, thank you. The photograph of the crime scene has been entered in the courtroom. Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? But pray, you mentioned Russia before you as well, didn't you? You know, when you say I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia, and all of that. Yes, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth. Do you mind explaining that train of reasoning to me, you think? But then if it interests you. How many times? I'm not Russian, and I don't speak Russian. When we talked about your deduction before, the thing you concluded about me, I mean. No fabulously accurate troubling predicaments you find yourself in. Actually, it was the other details that was more humbling to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 parts. Ah yes, the more sordid details was a fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The main headlines reads: Revolutionary man Valen Bolshevik flees Russia near Shanghai. His vessel made a port call at Shanghai yesterday And last night the young Russian was murdered. Since when was Kazuma a Russian? Sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded he was Russian because of what Kazuma-sama wrote on the floor. It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary, one who would kill the very man who helped him to escape if his true identity was discovered. Yes, you, villain Bolshevik. How could it be me? I don't look anything like this man. Just look at his face. Well, you shaved. You're a fearsome revolutionary after all. They have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. Please. I might add your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more? Well, Mr. Oway. What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower. Ah yes, the journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all these particulars in the article. The deeds the man has perpetrated thus far and those he is plotting. Everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There can be no mistake. The revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters. I wonder, what about the part where you say that was just returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik is recently returned after a period of submersive activities in the war-torn region of Afghanistan. Where even is it anyway? This Afghanistan place. Read the paper for yourself. It's a little memento of this great deduction. Oh, thank you. Absorb all that is of interest to me within these pages, but I see no rubbish being nearby. Okay, we got the article. And you may find the article on the back page of interest as well. On the back. It's your eye of it sometimes. Interest takes you, though you may need someone to interpret. Though written in Russian, and hope to read it. I suppose it wouldn't hurt just to glance the article. Maybe there might be a picture or two. Should we? This is interesting. Have you found something relevant, Narada-san? Oh no, I mean it looks like it might be interesting. I can't read a single word, I'm afraid. No, nor can I. Look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess, you think? Very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you enjoy articles like this, don't you? I don't know, I can't make any sense of it. Oh, I'm glad you noticed this article. Allow me to give you a short summary of this content. Thank you. It pops everywhere, this Mr. Sholmes. It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. She's of course the talented young Nikolina Pavlova. Why are Russian names so hard to remember? It will appear that the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing from her dressing room, wearing the diamond tiara. You see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 rubles. Where is 20,000 rubles? I have no idea, but I'm quite sure it must be an unbelievable sum of money. It's shiny. Her eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. The tiara is the property of the Novovich Ballet. Was seeing the director is beside herself with worry. Not surprised. The committee is most anxious to recover both Miss Pavlova and the valuable tiara. They've requested international assistance at all ports with sailing to Great Britain. Could this be another case of Russian fleeing his or her country? It does seem to be a Russian thing to do. I'm not even going to identify that with a response, Mr. Naroda. Arena and, well, him. Before we started talking, you were examining Kazuma's desk, weren't you? Oh yes, the victim. Did you notice anything unusual? Anything at all? Except for moments, the stop of the victim. We see that the victim was engaged in penning some text. London Diary. His mother was keeping notes of the trip. But I don't think you should read his private writings. It will upset people. Tragic, and something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading. I mean, you read it already? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. I see. Are you about to know what a Suicidal takedown is? No? Sato-san, aren't you going to throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns? What on earth do you mean? That is so unfair. Anyway, to return to the matter in hand, namely the diary belonging to the victim. Those people are so crazy. It appeared the final sentence is incomplete, as if the other were cut short. What is the nature of the writings? Pray be precise as to the details. Ouch. I thought you knew Japanese. A smattering, dear boy, a smattering. Sayonara, bonsai, Mikado. Nado. I trust you're suitably impressed. This diary is littered with complicated looking characters of which I can read precisely now. What was all that showing off about before, then? You would be so kind as to show me. We're happy to read it to you, Mr. Sholmes. Much obliged, my dear madam. The final entry here in Kazuma-sama's diary consists of just two short sentences. The first reads, 1 a.m. You can hear a faint whistling sound. These are very deep waters. Pray go on. Second sentence reads, it looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. What on earth does that mean? I have no idea. Never heard the expression before. Ventilator grill, you say? Man was presumably referring to. The light is there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. The adjoining cabin. This diary has been entered into the court record. Okay. Is it Nick, actually? So I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being at least. There's somewhere to go. As it happens, the victim's writings in his diary have piqued my interest. No matter warrants further investigation, I believe, and if I'm still too long, the sickness takes hold. Well, I suppose. You're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, where the ventilator connects to. But detectives are a curious breed, who minds rebel at stagnation, who crave mental exhalation. Exaltation? So yes, I intend to investigate, hence the truth will become clear soon enough. Do you think perhaps we could go with you? No, it will be somewhat complicated. Why? A simple glance at your wrist will reveal the answer. Oh. Yes. After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter. No? There's no point trying to turn it into a question. The one who decided that I was the culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point. Huh? Brad? You just said only a moment ago. Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I'll have no cause to say such a thing. Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too. You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said you had the face of a criminal, you know. Not really. What were you looking at my knees before, some great detective you are? Well, anyway, I was then and this is now. What do you mean? What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the parts more convincingly. Roll over and set your fate. What? And off he goes, having just laughed in my face. His sense of humor as twisted as his name. What are you standing there for? Hmm? You must go investigate the cabin next door as well. You're forgetting something. What about this? Okay, so Master must spend his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue. You're willing to give up. You're just going to roll over and upset your fate. As if you gave me any choice in the wrong part over parts. Okay, I think we still have some investigation to finish off in here first, don't we? Let's carry on examining what we can in this cabin while we wait for a chance to sleep next door. The situation doesn't look good for me. But there are still things I can do to help myself. I'll owe it to Kazume to do everything I can to find a way out of this and bring the real culprit to justice. Is something wrong there, Rosan? No, it's just that crewman standing by the door. Can't help feeling I've seen him before, somewhere. Oh yes, you're right. Does look familiar. Excuse me, sir. Yes, what can I do for you? Oh my. I recognize that face, but it can't be. It is. I didn't know you were here, Inspector Sonaga. Hello again. What are you doing here? I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you. My heart stopped. Nearly stopped. I hope. I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew and board this ship. Again. You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector. If there's anything I can do to help you, please ask. I've expected to see this man on board. Perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. Well, it's already been too long already. So, as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see y'all next time. It's time to be rough on my throat. Well, as always, thank you. Already said it? I don't know. I don't remember. Thank you for watching. Have a good day, good night, or whatever. And yeah, take care. See you. They're very strange, those people. How they can be so smart and dumb at the same time. I mean, someone just died and all laughing like that. Very weird. Yeah, whatever. Ciao.